Hey, what's up? It's your girl Nique, and you're tuned in to Nique at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about how the man who was accused of hooking DMX on drugs is now speaking out and defending himself against the allegations. A lot of people feel as though he has no right in defending himself because DMX is now passed away. But I feel quite the contrary, and this video will probably be an unpopular opinion because, as you guys know, even the people that I like, I will never put them on a godlike pedestal or anybody for that matter. So we're going to get into it in this video. But before we do, if this is your first time coming to my channel, if this is your first time here, I want you guys to know my name is Nique and we are the Night Owls over here. In order to be a night owl, just know that you will not always agree with me, but know that I will be real and authentic in how I feel, and you should be an adult enough to know that we can agree to disagree because we all come from different backgrounds, different walks of life, and we do not always think the same on every topic, and that's just what it's gonna give. So in order to be a night owl, just know that I cover various of topics. Hit the subscribe button to come and join the journey, okay? And also, in addition to that, I have a website where I sell merchandise. I sell, robes like the one I have now. This robe is available on my website. Adult toys, lingerie, all kind of cute little goodies, and I have a lot of new stuff that I'm going to be releasing as well. So anyways, let's get into this video. With that being said, check out my website, www.niqueatnight.com. Know that over here, you might not agree, but we can still have a discussion. Now, I ain't going to go back and forth with you about my opinion, but, we can still have the discussion, okay? Anyway, so let's jump into the video. So as you guys know, DMX passed away, and it was said to have been drug-related causes. It was said to have been an overdose that basically triggered a heart attack. From there, he went into the hospital after losing 30 minutes of oxygen. It put him in a vegetative state, and from him being in a vegetative state, his organs then in turn shut down, and he then in turn passed away. If you are somebody on my channel, you know that I am a big DMX fan. I remember like months ago, people were asking me like what my type is, who my celebrity crush is, and I can't remember which video it was, but it definitely was months ago that I was having a discussion with you guys, and I was letting you guys know my love for DMX, and I'm here to tell you guys again my love for him. Period. Pooh. Like, I was a big fan of him back in the day. I am a big fan of him present. Throughout his struggles or what have you, I have always been a supporter of him. I was very, very happy of the versus battle. Like, I was I was front row in attendance via my phone, and I have always championed DMX to kind of be the breakthrough story because a lot of people can relate to him, and a lot of people like they were able to live through their struggles through him, and seeing how he was so real and relatable, and him going through his battles and them knowing that they were not alone. With that being said, he shared one of the stories that he said was the reason in which he got addicted to drugs. So he came forward in a documentary about the Rough Riders, and I believe it aired last year. And he talked about how he was addicted to crack cocaine at the time, and how he was basically tricked into doing it. He then later did an interview with a radio station, and he basically relived the time of this scenario, and since his passing, the video has been going viral again. A lot of people who never seen the video before are now seeing it again for the first time because he has now passed away, and a lot of people are placing blame on the man in which he accused of being the reason why he was hooked on drugs. Now, me, I'm not a person to sit here and play the blame game. As you guys know, addiction is something that is very hard to deal with. Somebody who's addicted to drugs, you can't blame, like, for instance, and I know I'm probably skipping all over the place, but I'm going to get to it, and just bear with me. So when DMX passed away, there was people calling into my show and they were like, blaming this person and that person, like this person didn't help him, that person didn't help him, or whatever. And it's like dealing with the addict, if you know how addiction works, like nobody can help somebody unless, they are willing and wanting to get help. So when people felt like, okay, well, we can't blame that person, or we can't blame Swiss Beats, or we can't blame the record label, who can we blame? Now they are going to blame the guy who he accused of hooking him on drugs, and the guy who was accused has been getting a lot of heat for it, and because of that, he decided to come out and defend himself. Now, me as a DMX fan, regardless of me being a fan or not, I feel like if you are accused of something, whether the person is alive or not, you have the right to defend yourself. Period. Like if I am a person and a person passes away that accused me of something, and now it's now going viral again, and now people are coming at me again for something, I have the right to defend myself, as does the guy who DMX accused also has the right to defend himself. We need to normalize people being accused and being able to defend themselves, whether it's a celebrity involved or not. Oftentimes, when there is a celebrity, and this only works if it's a celebrities that we like. If it's a celebrity that we like, they can do no wrong. And if they say something, if they make an accusation, we automatically take their side and we automatically discount what the other person is saying. We meaning y'all, because I don't do that. Okay? But I'm just saying, like, as a collective, that's kind of what I see all the time. And I think that's unfair. Just because a person is a celebrity, just because we like them, does not mean that a person does not have the right to defend themselves. He has come forward and he has spoke about this situation, and he pretty much was saying there was some inconsistencies in the things that DMX has stated, which if he feels like there's inconsistencies, he has a right to do so. So I'm going to show you guys first what DMX said and how he relived the moments of him saying, being addicted to this drug. And then I'm going to share with you guys what the accused is saying in defense of himself. And we just going to go like that. So let me unplug my mic. Think that I'm gonna edit this video, so if it's mess ups, it's mess ups, and that's just how it's gonna be. Okay, that's on period, because I got stuff to do. All right, so this is what DMX originally said.
I just come home from being in these institutions from the age of 7 to 14. And this guy, Reddy Ron, he was like an older brother to me. And I looked up to him like an older brother, you know what I'm saying? I love this guy like an older brother, and I don't have any brothers. But this guy, man, this guy, he introduced me to what would be the best part of my life, which would be the rap. But he also, at the end of my life, is blessed with the curse. I didn't smoke cigarettes. I didn't smoke weed. I didn't do anything. I'm 14 years old. So he came back with a blunt rolled up. He likes the blunt. And I said, I was impressed. I don't really smoke, nigga. And he passed the blunt around. And, wow. And I hit the blunt, and I'm like, I never felt like this. Like, it just me up. I'm like, the f. And, I later found out that he laced the blunt with crack. My take. Why would you do that to a child? Right. And this nigga like 30, you know what I'm saying? And he knew I looked up to him. Why would you do that to somebody who looks up to you like that? I mean, the monster was born. The monster was born. I mean, and
Okay. So as you see that DMX said he looked up to him like an older brother, and the guy was like 30. Now, when DMX tells this story, he says that he was 14 years old. So, if there is a situation where a overly grown man is lacing a blunt with a young child who is 14 years old, that's a complete, like, that is like a utterly, like, that's like awful. Like, you're grown as heck, like, you know what you're doing, you have no right to do that. Now, if a person is 17 years old, which Reddy Ron is claiming to have been only 3 years older than him, I feel like it's also wrong to do so. I'm not excusing him in his behavior because it's also wrong. However, there is a huge difference in the mentality of a 17-year-old boy who is doing, weed and crack or whatever mix versus a grown man who is well in his 30s. That's a completely different scenario. A lot of people are like, well, it doesn't matter, da da da. If it didn't matter about ages and things like that, and peers and people being peers, the laws would be different. There wouldn't be a juvenile detention center. There would just be straight out prison for everybody who committed a crime, because the mentality of a young child who is a teenager versus a mentality of a grown, overgrown adult well in his 30s, the psyche is totally different. The mentality is totally different, and I feel like that matters. So, Reddy Ron has come forward to basically defend himself and deny that he did not trick DMX into doing drugs. He feels as though those claims are false. He also denied these claims back in 2020 when the first original documentary came out. When the documentary aired and he talked about this, they reached out to him on the documentary, on that particular documentary, and they kind of put like, oh, he denied it or whatever, but they did not share his side of the story. They did not share his side or his take on it. They just basically said, well, he denied all allegations or whatever, and did not, share his side, which a lot of times that's what it, like, if a person's defense does not fit your narrative, you've seen that in these situations with these documentaries that you see on Lifetime. A lot of the people who defended against the narrative, they got shut out because it did not fit what story that the people were trying to paint or portray. Now, again, I feel like if there is only a 3-year difference, yes, it's still wrong. However, I'm going to look at somebody being peers and doing young and dumb things differently as I look at an overgrown adult. A lot of people kept saying, well, why is he speaking now? Why is he saying something now? Are you on Reddy Ron's social media? Were you checking for him before this? Do you know what he's been vocal about to say what he has or has not spoken about? No. A lot of people keep opening up their mouth saying, oh, well, he shouldn't be speaking about this, or why is he speaking about that? If you are accused of something, you have the right to defend yourself against it, period. So this is Reddy Ron defending himself against it. And I'm not, like, again, I will say over and over, but you'll have the bimbos in the back who will twist my words and, make it seem like I'm saying that it's okay for what he did. I'm never saying it was ever okay. What I'm saying is I look at what teenagers do and versus what adults do on a different scale in a different degree. And I do not feel like it is the same type of lens. Like, I don't look at it as the same type of scrutiny or the same type of thing. And I'm not here to place the blame game on human beings because somebody who I like passed away. I don't do that with, I just don't do that. Like, I just don't think that that's fair. But here is what he said, and this is an exclusive to the Neighborhood Talk. So basically what it says is the Neighborhood Talk exclusive details: DMX former rap mentor Reddy Ron says he didn't trick DMX into smoking crack and highlights holes in his story. Now, I can't clear my name with him passing away. So people, and like, that's him responding to people feeling like he should not be able to clear his name, which is ridiculous. But let me play this for y'all to see.
85 and he was 14, and him and I are.
Okay, so let me play it again.
How was I 30 years old in 1985 and he was 14, and him and I are only 3 years apart? You got to remember, just because somebody is world famous doesn't mean they're always honest. And I've got nothing bad to say about him, but you got to stop lying on me. Ready, wrong, beat. How was I 30 years old in 1985 and he was 14, and him and I are only 3 years apart? You got to remember, just because somebody is world famous doesn't mean they're always honest. And I've got nothing bad to say about him, but you got to stop lying on me.
Okay. So, in the description of this video, it says, neighbors, with the recent announcement of DMX's unfortunate death, the resurfaced clip of the late rapper detailing how he first got hooked on drugs has caused a bit of trouble for his former rap mentor, Ready Ron Beats. X stated that his mentor got him hooked on crack by passing a laced blunt when he was just 14 years old. Well, in a statement provided to the Neighborhood Talk, Ron disputed the rapper's claims. We were kids and we were getting high back then. I wasn't the one to expose him to crack. In a video posted to social media, Ron highlighted that DMX stated his mentor was 30 years old at the time when it happened, but according to Ron, he and DMX are only 3 years apart. Ron also told us that he was scheduled to premiere in the Rough Riders Chronicles documentary, but for some reason, his interview clips weren't shared. He provided emails that shows producers reached out to him in September of 2019. He says he has been receiving a lot of hate mail and doesn't feel like he has the opportunity to clear his name now that DMX has passed. So they also showed where the producers of the Rough Riders Chronicles reached out to him, and he was going back and forth, and how they did not include his defense in the documentary, which I agree. I agree that that probably did happen. Like, I don't know the back ends of it, but I know how these things go. I know how these documentaries go. I've interviewed several people who have been connected to stories. They have been connected to documentaries that only wanted to paint one narrative and did not show the defense of another alternate perspective. That's just how it goes. So, to the people who feel as though, he has no right in defending himself, keep that same energy when you are accused of something. Keep that same energy when the cops pull you over for, driving while black or just driving in general. Keep that same energy when it comes to the defense of yourself and others, thinking that just because you're accused of something, or that person be a higher status than you, that you don't have the right to defend yourself. Now, I'm not saying that Ron was right if he did lace the blunt and hook him on the drugs. I don't think that that's right. However, I think that a peer behavior, a 17-year-old's actions versus a 30-year-old's actions is totally different. I look at it on a totally different scale. And if DMX was wrong about that, as it looks like they are close in age, if you look at the thing, if Reddy Ron was 30 years old, you would be able to tell he's 15 years, you would be able to tell the age difference. Clearly they look like 3-year age gap to me. And if that is incorrect info, I don't think that he's wrong in correcting the info, whether DMX has passed or not, especially when you have a lot of these fans who are trying to play the blame game. They're looking for somebody to blame. Oh, his fiance should have did something, or oh, Swiss Beats should have did something, or oh, this person should have did something. And once they go through that list and get shut down, they're going to keep going to try to place the blame game on somebody. And if I'm getting scrutinized for something that I feel like is inaccurate, whether a person is dead or not, you have the right to defend yourself. Now, that will never change my love for DMX. I'm still a fan to the core, but I don't place anybody, whether I'm a fan of them or not, on a godlike pedestal. I do not place anybody on a level so much so to where I idolize them so much so to where I don't think that they could possibly ever have been wrong about something. You get what I'm saying? Like, that will never be me. I don't care. I don't know what type of fans y'all are. I live in California where we see celebrities every day, so they're humans just like you and I. But a lot of people outside of California who probably don't get interactions with celebrities on a regular day basis, like they look at these celebrities as gods. They look at them as idols. They worship the ground they walk on. They never can do any wrong, and they never can be wrong about something. And I think that that's false. Again, that is not me excusing his behavior. I'll say that a million times, but I kid you not, there's going to be the bimbos in the back in the comments who will act like I'm excusing it. I'm not excusing it. However, I do feel like it's a difference from a 17-year-old action who is your peer. Mind you, a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old are all in the same school together. They're peers. They're peers. Even an 18-year-old. I was 18 when I graduated high school. They're peers still. You know what I'm saying? So the actions of groups amongst peers, especially at that time, when the crack epidemic happened at their age, they did not know the side effects like we do. Like I'm much younger than them. So I know I've seen family members affected by crack. I know the effects that it has on people. But I'm not going to scrutinize somebody at the beginning stage of the crack epidemic for something that they necessarily probably didn't know the effects of themselves. Like a person who started doing drugs in the 80s, when the crack epidemic first happened, you cannot hold them to the same standard as somebody deciding to smoke crack in 2021 as if they don't know the effects. These people, especially a 17-year-old boy, did not know the long lasting effects of what that meant. I don't believe that. And I'm not going to burn somebody and hold them to the fire, because a lot of our community got wiped out from the crack epidemic because they had no idea of how it was going to affect them. Y'all see how this was on Snowfall. Y'all see this in TV shows. You see this, but yet people will still act like the times are the same. People judge people for things that happened 20 years ago in a different climate in 2021 when the stakes were different. The drug was new back then. It was new. Like, so I'm not going to hold him to the fire. I'm not going to place the blame game. I'm just not that type of fan. And that doesn't make me less of a DMX fan because I love DMX to the core. But I'm just not going to play the blame game and act like I don't understand the difference in where we are now in 2021 and when this thing first got introduced to our people. A lot of people, they ignore that. They ignore like the climate when they're judging stuff. Like they ignore like the times. Like you got to think about when you're placing these high expectations about how you feel something should have been or what it could have, woulda. You got to also factor in what the time of it was. If the drug was a new drug, you got to understand the climate. You got to understand all of these factors. And for that reason, I'm not going to hold him to the fire. Although I do not think that it's right, I'm still not going to hold him to the fire and just place the blame game because of that reason. I'm just not going to do that. Like, we see it far too much. Like in the situation with all of these celebrities, like if a celebrity comes out with a claim first, people automatically take the celebrity side. And if a person, comes back to defend themselves, they're like, oh, that person needs to shut up. Why are they talking? No, we already took the side of this person. I feel like that's wrong. We need to normalize people being able to defend themselves. And my mic kind of got twisted up. I just realized when I was talking, my mic got twisted up. So it's possible that parts of this was muffled, but it is what it is. I said what I said. And that's just that on that on that on that. Somebody, I have commented on this, my feelings about this in the comments on the neighborhood talk, and somebody gonna say, well, that's why I unsubscribe to you, because you always wrong. No, bitch, I just don't go with popular opinion. Okay, I just don't deride these celebrities, and if that's the reason why you unfollow me, girl, I'm not pressed to have your follow. Okay, I am not pressed to have your follow because you think I'm supposed to think like you. Like, no. Like, no. But anyways, I'm going to wrap there. I'm going to end the video there because, it is what it is. Like, I wouldn't have made it this far with just, well, honestly, I would have made it this far because a lot of people make it far dick riding popular opinion and only going with popular opinion, so I take that back. But I wouldn't be me, doing so. So I have to say how I feel about it and how I think about a situation, and that's just that on that. With that being said, that's all for this video. Still go support my website even if you're mad. Still go to my website, because this will look good on you this summer, girl. Imagine you know what I'm saying, on vacation in your hotel room, girl, with this on, girl. Like, and some of my other goodies that I got on my website. Like, whether you mad or not, you can still go to my website and support. Okay? www.niqueatnight.com. Okay? And I'll catch y'all on the next video. Check out my description where you will see the links to my website and all of the other stuff. Peace.